bearing in mind I'm tight, imagine how good of a time I must have had on that first session.
So on that first day, how much did it cost you altogether then, just for you to surf twice on that first day?
It was like 85 quid, wasn't it? Yeah, 85 quid, yeah. I know, it's mental. Like, I can't even believe I did that.
I think he's never spent 85 quid in his life.
No, it's crazy. So I went and booked in for the second session, which was like 2 hours away.
Hello and welcome to the UK Surf Show. We are your hosts. I'm Pete.
And I'm Leighton. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the Wave.
Yeah, the Wave. We have both now been to the Wave. On recording this, it is the 5th of September, 2020.
I went a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and I went on Wednesday with my wife. She had a beginner's lesson because she's never surfed before. She wanted to see what it was like. She's wanted me to take her for ages, and I'm just a terrible husband, so I didn't even bother.
Yeah, so we both went separately, didn't we?
Yeah.
Went with our partners.
We didn't go together because I've told people before and they don't believe us. We really don't like each other.
What an asshole.
Oh, I wouldn't have gone that far. You've hurt me. Wounded. But no, we've both been separately. We might go together at some point, no doubt we will. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I think it was good. So we'll tell people what it's basically, for people who haven't gone, we'll tell them what it's like, shall we? So just a general outline before we get into actually what we think. So,
right. So from where we are, it's actually quicker to get to the Wave than it is to Saunton.
Yeah, it's like literally 30 minutes up the road from us, isn't it?
So it's simple to get there. You go straight up the M5. If you're coming from down the country, you presume you come down the M5. I don't know. My geography from up country is terrible.
It's off the M5.
Yeah, it's off the M5. By Cribbs Causeway, instead of going into Cribbs Causeway, you go the other way towards the Severn Bridge.
Yeah. So
pull up
Bristol area.
Yeah, Bristol area. Who don't know that. Pull up into the car park and then walk.
A long way.
A long way.
Yeah. So I've seen lots of people skate there.
Yeah, same.
All the staff get around the whole site on surf skates, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. The walk to, you should go for the walk to it first of all. You go to the car park and it's nearly a mile. I know it's nearly a mile because my Garmin wristwatch kicked in and started saying,
"You're doing some
exercise. What are you doing, fatty?" and told me to sit down quick. So it is quite a walk. I'm glad I didn't take my log board with me because that thing weighs a ton.
And you got there, wouldn't be able to surf.
Oh, I'd have been dragging one arm across the floor by the time I got there. And so that's there was a guy there with a massive board though, and but it looked quite lightweight. Board then. Yeah. But my what is it? 9.6, I think.
Yeah, 9.6 yours.
Yeah, it's heavy as well.
Yeah,
like
I wonder if it's got like a lot of glass on it or something. So it seems quite robust.
It's got bricks in it. It's one of those
made of iron.
I've hit. I think I've hit your board before with my board and taken a chunk out of it.
Is that where the dings have come from?
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you before. I think one you cut across me and my board hit your board and yours nearly disintegrated.
I hit your board and my board got broken.
Yeah, basically. I dropped my board on the concrete and the concrete broke. No. It's a really heavy board and to carry it all that way, I'd have been knackered by the time I got there. It's bad enough carrying up the beach at like Westwood Ho or Saunton or something like that when the tide's out.
Well, that's one reason not to take your own board then.
Yeah.
Like there are others which we'll go into.
Yeah, we'll go into why there's others. But
So it's the long walk to get there. I think they recommend 45 minutes to an hour before your session.
I'd say an hour.
I was running really late. So
what a surprise.
me and the missus had to run that mile to get there. And I think we got there with about 15 minutes to spare, 20 minutes to spare, and I think their cut-off is 10 to 15 minutes. So if you're any later than that, then they can't get you sorted before the session starts. So they do have a cut-off. You turn up, you register. They will then give you a rash vest, which goes over your wetsuit. You can either choose a wetsuit, which is all part of the price as well. The wetsuit and a hire overboard is all part of the price. So if you bring your own or not, the price is the same.
Yeah, and you've got some options with the boards, haven't you? You've got you can have the soft foamy board. Mm-hmm. You can have the hybrid board, which is more of a foamy top and a...
it's just like a solid board it's had a foam top laid onto it, isn't it?
And then you can hire a solid board as well if you want, and their cost for that is an extra tenner.
Yeah. Well, I had the hybrid. I thought the boards were really good, like really good quality boards.
Well, I went to get the hybrid. There was a fish there, and the guy in front of me got it. I was like, and then I wanted to try the fish board, and it looked really nice. It was it looked really nice. It was really really big and really buoyant looking. I thought, I'll give that a try. Anyway, someone else took it, so I looked at some other boards, and they had a big 9-foot hybrid. I was like, I might take that. And then I thought, actually, I'm at the Wave. I'm going to try something smaller because why not? It's going to be a more consistent wave. I got a 8-foot HB2, I think it was, pencil. It was so thin, but it was an all right board. It was a nice board. It was not what I was used to. I wasn't catching anything near as good. But
they do let you get out and change the board, don't they?
Yeah, I could have done that, but I just didn't want to waste the time. I just persevered with it. I caught a few waves on it. It was nice. Moving on, if we are from there to talking about the actual wave itself.
Yeah, so when you get there, you register, you go and pick up your wetsuit if you need it. You get your rash vest to put over your wetsuit. You can choose your board. You get changed, and then you wait for the safety briefing. Which is just tell you about the rules of the place. So.
Yeah, don't do what I did. As he started talking, my ADHD kicked in and I zoned out. So bad. When people start talking at me, I just like... I literally like that bit off Joey, off Friends, where it pans round and like everyone's thinking and it pans across to him and he's just sat there going...
singing in his head.
Yeah, that is pretty much what I do. Leighton used to call it the computer look.
Yeah.
When I was younger, it's just this glazed look. People used to think I was stoned a lot when I was younger. Mate, are you stoned?
No, actually, he's not. No. It just looks like that.
He looks so stoned. Oh man.
It's so to give people an image, what Homer looks like when nothing's going on in his head and his eyes are slightly out to the side. That's what you do. It's just nothing going on.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I do. Should listen better.
So after you've had the safety briefing that you didn't listen to, so basically what they tell you to do is there's a channel to paddle out to the back, and that is the centre column, which is what they call the pier. You get in that channel. It's really easy. It takes you right out the back. You sit there and you are all in a line and you take it in turns to get the wave. And there's a takeoff section, isn't there? Two painted lines on the wall.
So we both went on the same one. We went on the intermediate, didn't we?
Yeah, intermediate wave. Yeah.
So there's 2 green lines on the wall for that one. Where is your takeoff zone between them?
Oh right, they didn't actually explain the different colours, so that's their different wave settings.
So the 2 green ones doesn't help if you're colourblind, I suppose. Yeah. But the 2 green ones are where you take off on the intermediate wave, and I sort of worked out there you're better if you get the start of where that is, if you get towards the end. It's the takeoff I found was very steep, very quickly. It was like it came from nothing, jumped up steep, and you can just pop straight up on that. You hardly need to paddle on that bit at all.
Yeah, I think because we're used to longboarding and we can catch the wave a lot earlier than what other surfers might be able to do, really, because we've got really long boards, so we can catch it before it's that steep.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I know, because when I've gone on my
already up at that point.
When I go on my shorter board, you have to obviously be the wave to be a bit steeper to get it. And I know when we've been with Seb and we've been catching everything, and he's been on his smaller board.
Yeah,
he's Well, he's still catching stuff because he's motors. But you can see it's a lot more effort for him. And even that day when he was like, round Croyd, and he said it was a lot easier around there because the wave's a different type of wave. But yeah, that said, people on all different size boards and abilities there. The takeoff of the wave's quite steep, so you can get up really quickly. As you come across the wave, if you're not there's a real sweet spot on it, and if you're not in that spot, it loses power in the middle, and then it gains power again.
It gains power again, I noticed that.
So it's like a lull, isn't it? It drops right down.
Yeah, like a lacking power.
Yeah, but if you're in that sweet spot, you don't notice it. If
you can ride over that,
Yeah, if you're not in that sweet spot, that's where everyone comes off. But the bad thing about that is that bit there is no man's land. You're halfway between two sides.
Yeah, so part of the rules were that if you come off or you miss your wave, you ride the white water in against the wall and then basically do a big arc back out to the pier and paddle back out again, so you're not in anybody's way. But if you come off or you do lose that power, you are stuck right in the middle.
Yeah.
So
you can't go left towards the wall because, well, we were on rights, weren't we? So the wall was on the left of us. You can't go left towards the wall because you're going back in front of the person that's now coming behind you. And you can't go right because they're coming across that way. So they're coming. So you
just got to ride it in. You just got to paddle towards what would be the shore.
But if you come off and there's someone on that next wave behind you, you're in the way of them. That's the only thing. I think something like that, they should allow a wave behind the person that's gone in front. You know what I mean?
So this was the other problem.
Or gap in the waves, maybe a bit bigger.
Yeah, there's I can't remember exactly how many waves you get per set, but there's 8 sets, and I want to say 60, but that seems like a lot.
Yeah, no, I can't remember.
But I think there's 60 waves in a set, and there's 8 sets, and that sounds loads, you know, in an hour of surfing.
Yeah, but in my group there was like 20 odd people.
Yeah, well, 20 is the max.
Yeah,
so
and say each person's taking 2 waves.
Yeah, so it must be 60 then. Yeah. So 60 waves a set, 8 sets per session, and you have an hour session. But if the person in front of you're allowed 2 attempts on a wave. So if you miss your first takeoff, you're allowed to wait for a next one. If you miss that, you need to ride the white water in against the wall where all the painted lines are, and then come back in. So you're not wasting too many waves.
Yeah,
but nobody listens to that.
Nobody listens to that.
So I was behind somebody that was like trying to take like 4 or 5 attempts, and as you're behind them waiting, the waves are trying to push you in, and I'm trying to backpedal, and then if you miss those 2 painted lines on the wall,
you just flip you straight away.
Yeah, you've missed your takeoff.
Yeah.
So what you're meant to do is paddle further away from the wall where the wave is breaking to catch it, but it's quite difficult to maneuver yourself around in such a short space of time. It's not long before, oh my god, those guys are taking 5 goes to get it. Now he hasn't got it. I need to move over. Oh no, the wave's already on me.
It is one of those things where if everyone's not doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, you can get really pissed off really quickly. So
maybe the way to combat it would be not to have so many people in a session.
Either not to have so many people, or to tell people, right, you get a warning if you don't do it properly.
Yeah.
Your next warning, you're out for, it doesn't even, that's, maybe even like a sin bin sort of thing.
Yeah.
I know it's not ideal, but something has to be done about that, because there was a guy on ours that was sat in the middle of it, and everyone else was paddling around it, and he was just remembered his place and then went back in there.
Maybe, so we haven't explained the type of waves that they got. So you basically, there's a beginner session, and then
that's for learners, and
for learners, and you're in the broken waves.
Yeah, you're in basically the white water in at the shoreline.
Yeah, so you're not in the way of any of the other surfers at the back, because it's actually quite a big place, isn't it? And then there is the intermediate wave, and then there is advanced plus, and expert. So maybe the advanced plus, and the expert have people that are more in tune to what they're doing.
Well, I felt that the intermediate wave was it was all right, but I felt like I could have gone better. So I think advanced. Next time I go, I want to try the advanced.
Yeah. But we wouldn't class ourselves as advanced surfers, so maybe they should recategorise it as intermediate and intermediate plus, and then advanced and expert, because
maybe we should go on advanced before we say that, because they might go on advanced and go, whoa.
Yeah, but it seems like advanced and advanced plus, like how the difference between, like, do you know what the difference would be between an advanced wave, an advanced plus wave, and an expert wave? Where I could imagine the difference between an intermediate and an intermediate plus wave. Do you know what I mean? Like advanced plus, and expert all sound really bloody hard.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Yeah, it's difficult. There's obviously it opened up and then lockdown happened, so they've
Yeah, they did have a problem with the intermediate wave, which they've now sorted.
Yeah, they've sorted. It's the waves are really good. To be honest, like that advantage, you can see the positive wave counts, the amount of waves you can get there, and for we were speaking to Hannah from Surfing England, and their training there is going to be going to be absolutely epic for them, because like we were saying, think of the amount of times you go, oh, there's going to be a competition or there's going to be something on. Oh, there's no waves, we can't do it.
There could be very, very easily be a British surfer competing on the world stage at
an elite level.
Yeah, but an actual, with a chance to actually rank high now, because of places like the Wave.
Oh yeah, definitely, really, really positive for that side of it.
So we were going to. You've spoken to your wife about it, haven't you?
Yeah. So she had a lesson on the beginner side. So I've spoken to her and got her to kindly record something of what she thought of it. I asked her a couple of questions. This is what she thinks of it.
Yeah.
So this is my wife Jude, and if you'd like to tell them what you thought about your lesson at the Wave and your opinion of it.
Okay. So my experience has just been bodyboarding, but I learned to swim later in life. So as a child, I wasn't a swimmer at all, and I had a pretty horrific experience when I was about 9 years old, and I actually did nearly drown. Very, very vivid memory. I've always loved the sea, but was never able to get past the fear of actually letting the water go past my shoulders. It did cripple me for a really long time, and then 10 years ago I was able to overcome that just by going to the local pool regularly and just basically teaching myself to swim in a really, really controlled environment. And after that, I did enjoy bodyboarding a lot more, but still just lacked that confidence just to take it a little bit further and actually, get on a surfboard. So went along today, and the lesson was fantastic. I would imagine it's just like a lesson that you would go to anywhere. So any kind of beach places, and sort of learnt the positioning on the board and how to get up, different techniques for getting up, which side was best, whether it was regular or goofy. All these things were all looked at so that we were able to be as comfortable as possible. And it was fantastic. The instructor was really, really good and so passionate. And I just wanted to do well for him, because he was like, I believe in you, Jude. I had a mental block where physically my positioning was fine. I was, I didn't fall off a lot, but when I did fall off, I even learned to fall, and even that for me was a big thing, just being able to be okay with falling. So I learnt a few ways of falling over, and that it's okay. Position-wise, as I was kind of coming in on the wave, was lovely, and I was up on my knees, and I had one foot up, in front of me, and just mentally, I don't know why, I just couldn't let myself stand up, which was really, really weird. But then I suppose I've got a lot of past fear, and maybe it was something to do with that, and maybe just falling from a greater height from being stood up. I was really, really close, and at one point I was about to stand, but unfortunately somebody just walked in the way.
That's not what she said earlier.
No, I may have, I may have wanted to fight on the shore, but it was really frustrating. I can understand why people do get frustrated in the sea, because I honestly thought, I'm going to do it. And then she was just like, la, 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 la. And she was in a bit that she shouldn't have been walking in anyway, because they do keep it really, really well controlled. You're told, exactly where you can walk up to get back in. And where not to go. And it was just one of those things, I suppose. But it was really, really good. I would recommend it to anyone that is like me and would just like to learn a little bit before going in the sea to do it. But now I just can't wait to go in the sea, because I just think that I'm used to falling off now. And I just keep kicking myself that I didn't stand up, because I know I can do it. So, I just can't wait to go down and just keep going now. It's given me the confidence that I needed to be able to just do it. I really liked it.
So what would you give the overall experience out of 10?
Definitely a 9. Definitely a 9. The reason it's not a 10 is because I can't get my words out. It's late.
This is what I was like about the place. I think the only reason I wouldn't give it a higher score is because it's not the ocean.
Yeah, like there was no sand under my feet.
Yeah, it's weird.
That was weird.
That was a weird thing, actually. When you put your foot down and it's like not sand, it's a bit slippier because it's like concrete, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Really weird, but it's the next best thing. And just for a kind of a technical experience on what to do, it was great. It was really great, and I think it would be really good if you could have one-to-one lessons as well. I don't think that would be financially viable because they need groups in there, but I would have loved it if I just had the whole place to myself. But I bet every single surfer thinks that anyway when they're in the sea, because I was just thinking, oh my God, just piss off. I just want to keep going and going and going. But I think it's a 9 purely because it isn't the sea. It doesn't smell like it. It doesn't taste like it. Doesn't feel like it under your feet. But the waves are all right.
Well, were you tasting it?
Have you never tasted sea, man? When it goes in your mouth, like it didn't have that salty taste. It was like chlorine-y.
I didn't know. I can't.
And the lockers are a pain in the ass, but even the staff say that as well. They're just really, really, really dodgy. So you might find if you go there that you just can't figure out the lockers, and it's not because you're stupid. It's just because the lockers are a pain. The battery went on the key pad thing for my pin, so you basically pick your locker, put your stuff in, you choose your own pin number. It's just 4 digits. You do that when it's unlocked, then you close it, lock it, and do it again. Job done. So that was all right. And then the battery had gone in the keypad, so they had to go and get a spanner, a screwdriver, and an Allen key. And I was just kind of like, okay, I want my clothes now. But it was good.
And what did you think about the cost of it?
I thought it was good. I mean, it was £65, but I didn't have to, worry about anything. Had board and wetsuit hire. I will say, actually, I don't think they've got a variety of sizes, height-wise, for wetsuits. So he asked me my my dress size, told him, got the wetsuit. It fitted fine, like all over the body. But I'm 5 foot.
She's under 5 foot.
I'm not. I'm over 5 foot. I'm definitely over 5 foot. Not much. We're talking like a whisper over 5 foot. But, I mean, it was so long in the arms and the legs. I had flipping turn-ups on it. And when I took it off, about half the river fell out as well, where it just like sucked up all the water. But yeah, cost-wise, it was good because we were in a small group. I was in a group of 7. I think if they've got a full session booked, they have 3 groups of 8, which is really, really manageable. But there are a few people, they call your name out when you're there, when you meet up with them. And I think there were like 4 or 5 people that didn't come along. So yeah, the groups were a little bit smaller, but it was good. For that £65, I was taught all the basic stuff that you need to know to get on a board, even down to, what's what it's called and all the rest of it. And I knew that, obviously, because of who I live with. And, it was great. And for that money, I've come away feeling confident, excited, that I can do it in the sea now, and potentially give Pete a run for his money in a few months' time.
That's how confident it's made her. A few months' time. Everyone out there that's been surfing for any amount of time has just laughed at a few months' time, because when everyone knows when you start surfing, you think, I'll get a shortboard and I'll be like Kelly Slater.
Oh, I will be. He'll be begging me for lessons.
Yeah. Or, you think, a few months and I'll be, 20 years later, and you're still going, well, I'm sort of all right. I can do a little bit. All right. Cheers, love. So, some pros and cons about it then.
Yeah. So should we do the pros first?
Yeah.
So this is just from our personal
Should
experience.
we do the shit sandwich?
The what?
The shit sandwich. You do some pros and then the cons and then some more pros.
No, let's not make it confusing.
It's good for you.
Let's just do some pros. Start off positive.
Let's do that.
Okay, so what were you think of a pro for you? From your experience, what did you find was a positive?
Wave count.
Yeah.
Just the amount of waves you can catch in that hour. I know. Say you catch 8 waves in that hour, right? If you're really unlucky, and you go on an intermediate, and everyone's taking 2 waves, and you get 8 waves in that hour.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but they're 8 perfect waves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
8 waves that are absolutely perfect, and you can. Well, you got the same wave every time. How often have you been out there and gone, oh man, if I could just catch that wave again, I could do this. Or, if the wave did this, I could do this, and think of it like that. Going to this place will give you that opportunity to just get that and just get it nailed every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good positive. So positive for me would be that you get the opportunity to try other boards, because they have a massive array of boards that you can try. And like we said before, you can tell the instructor that you're going to get out and get another board, and they let you do that. Like, it's not like that board has been assigned to you. So that's a really good positive, especially if you're looking at buying a similar board.
Yeah, their boards are really good quality.
They are really good
I think
quality.
I mentioned they've got some really nice boards in there on the last podcast as well. They got that Skin Dog board in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't take that one out.
Yeah, I know, but you can just go and look at it. It's so good.
Okay, so another positive, it's there all year round.
Actually, if anyone wants to buy me that board...
I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, imagine it. Amazing. So, all year round, you can, there's always waves. Summer, winter, autumn.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Spring. Yeah, there's, I think there's 4
the
of them.
other one,
That's it. It's just, there's waves all the time. I've heard it's very cold in the winter there, but it's always waves. It's always waves all year round. That's another positive for the place.
Yeah.
Another positive for the place is really well made and put together and run.
Yeah, the quality is good. Yeah, the whole place looks really cool.
Yeah, high quality. Everybody that works there was really friendly and really nice as well. Yeah. Like, I don't know what to compare it to because I've never been to anything like it. But, you go to somewhere like... The only thing you can compare it to, I suppose, is like a day out. If you go to like an adventure park or something like that, that same sort of thing. And the staff there are just like, they don't want to be there. They're just like, oh, can I help you? He's like, oh, God. Yeah. But everyone there was like, really, you can just tell they like surfing and they want to be around surfing.
Well, they all look really cool as well. They're all like getting around the sites and surf.
I think you say that because they're all young.
Yeah, that might be it, yeah.
Who's this old dude?
They're all getting around on surf skates. And when you go there, it's not like you're just there for that hour. You could spend the whole day there.
Spend ages there. There's a cafe, restaurant, there's places to eat outside. And,
you can go and watch the other sessions, walk up the pier, take photos. It's in like the surrounding area as well. There's in a part of Bristol which is quite green, isn't it? You know, it's not like there's high-rise buildings around it or anything.
Also, a positive coming out of there, me and the wife went, because it was quite busy when we were there, we went over to Cribs and got something to eat in the mall afterwards. So, that's literally 5 minutes down the road.
So it's right on the M5 corridor as well. So it's accessible to a lot of the country, really.
Yeah, really. Really.
It's not difficult to get to, so that's another positive.
There is a lot of positives for the place. It's as I just said, it's really well put together, really well run, really nice atmosphere in a really nice area that it's in. It's just it was a good all round experience, I think, and everyone. I haven't spoken to anyone yet that has said, "Oh, it's crap. I'm not going there."
No, but now that leads on to the cons.
Yeah, my first con is a bit unfair, but it's a con, which is the price. It is expensive, and I mean,
we're talking £50 for a session, aren't we?
Yeah,
for an hour.
£65 for a beginner session, learning session. Yeah. But you do get sort of one-on-one. You get a group, but the tutors are there to help you.
Yeah.
She said,
and the groups aren't that big, are they?
No, not massive. No. £50 for an hour. You work it out. If me and you went, that's £100.
Yeah.
If me and you went to Saunton, drove down in the van, parked, had something to eat, came back, we'd probably spend £40.
Yeah.
Between us.
Yeah, and and we're in the sea as well, so that is another con. It doesn't compare to the ocean.
No, that was I think that was the thing I had to get over. When I came out of there, Leighton said to me, "Oh, how did you find it?" And I was like, "I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk on a podcast." And we recorded this one first of all, and we've gone back, and I wasn't happy with the first recording of it. Leighton wasn't happy with the first recording of it. I think I was still had to process the fact that it wasn't the ocean.
Yeah, and
you've got to look at it totally different. You need
to learn how to surf.
Yeah, you need to learn how to surf the wave. If you can surf it, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same. No. There's something about it that's not the same.
You're not working with nature all of a sudden. So it's really good for practicing. So you can work on your pop up, you can work on your position and on the wave.
Yeah, you can work on your maneuvers.
You can't work on how to read the ocean. You can't really work on your paddle strength because, like you said, you hardly need to paddle.
Yeah,
because it can be quite steep straight away.
I'll tell you that, saying that, the only thing I did notice when you're saying paddle strength, there was a guy in front of me paddling out when you paddle out down the channel, and he was really struggling to paddle out.
Well, if you struggle in the wave,
I stayed behind him. Yeah. Loads of people just paddling past, and I thought, it's first time out, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not going to start till you get out there.
Yeah.
But loads of people were paddling past him, and I was just staying behind him, whatever. But I don't know.
If you haven't got paddle, if you can't get out the back at the wave, then
I think that's the thing, because Jude had a beginner lesson.
Yeah,
and she said, "Oh, would I be able to go out there now?" And I was like, "No,
but that's the next level up.
Yeah,
beginner.
There needs to be a level in between.
Yeah, there does need to be something in between. Yeah. Maybe a kind of a coach out with them.
For a coached session out there.
Yeah, so then maybe there should be another grade as well. Maybe it should be beginner plus.
Yeah,
because I think that might be. So another negative would be people out there who were not listening to the rules.
Yeah.
So maybe they just come from the beginner session.
Yeah. Well, there was one girl on Mars that had a beginner session. She said, and she was nowhere near ready to get out there. But
and that in the ocean, you have to go through like your surfing apprenticeship, don't you? You know, you have to
get
the confidence to get out there. You need the paddle strength to get out there. And then you need to be able to learn to read the wave properly, to get in the right position, depending on your surf style and ability to get that wave, when none of that comes into play here. Yeah. So if you just learnt how to surf at a place like that, just at the wave, say, when you go out in the ocean, you'd really struggle because you'd have no paddle fitness to get out the back.
It's like driving a manual and automatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
ocean, good analogy.
Good analogy is the ocean's driving a manual, the wave is an automatic. The wave does a lot of the stuff for you, and it's a lot easier. Whereas the manual is the ocean, and there's a lot more going on that you need to know and do. But yeah, I really struggled with that for a couple of days. I've really struggled with that it wasn't the ocean, and that is the only thing I can put my finger on that is my main.
Yeah, so it's something else.
My main con is not the ocean, but that con is in my head.
Yeah,
you know, that's my own personal thing.
But you just have to. We just got to think of it as in it isn't the ocean. It's something different, but it still has a place in the surfing world because when you are progressing. Yeah, it's going to be really valuable.
So, would you go there again?
Yeah, I would definitely go there again. I don't think I could afford to go there a lot. There are a few people that I see on Instagram, and they're all the time. I'm like,
there's a guy I was chatting to. I won't say names on this bit. I was chatting to someone who told me a story of a guy that's been there quite a bit. When it opened, he went there a lot. And he went to his mate, for God's sake, don't tell my wife you've seen me. So she'll go nuts if she knows how much I've spent.
It is expensive.
You think if you went a couple of times a week for so 10 times in a month, mortgage. It's like £500 a month.
Yeah. But so when you're there, which is what I did, where if they've got space on a session on that day.
Before you say this says a lot because you've already mentioned how tight you are.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed the first session. I really enjoyed my partner. She didn't enjoy it as much. She struggled to catch the wave. I think that's down to her paddle fitness, which is a podcast we're going to go into. I think my paddle fitness is okay. Yeah. And my first session was really good. Enjoyed it. It was great. Managed to get over that lack in power that we said halfway through the wave. Loved it. Come out totally buzzing. The other surfers in there, everybody's chatting and have a good time. So that was a nice aspect of it. And I come out and saw this sign. It says, if you book on the same day of a session you've been on, you get 25% off. Bearing in mind I'm tight, imagine how good of a time I must have had on that first session.
So on that first day, how much did it cost you altogether then, just for you to surf twice on that first day?
That was like 85 quid, wasn't it? Yeah, 85 quid, yeah. I know, it's mental. I can't even believe I did that.
I think he's never spent 85 quid in his life.
No, it's crazy. So I went and booked in for the second session, which was like 2 hours away. Yeah. But it was a really lovely day when we were there, and there's grass everywhere, and we just, got a drink, let out, watched the other sessions, which I think there was an advanced one and stuff, and really because you can get really close to the surfers, so you can really look at how other people are surfing instead of watching videos of it. You've got it in
right next to you,
like live in real time,
real life.
Real life. Yeah, so that was quite valuable because you could see where the wave was breaking and
you can see what people are doing. That is.
You think,
really...
I wouldn't have done that, and then when you get out in the water, you think, God, I did do that. I'm crap. Yeah. So then I went in for the second session. Horrendous, absolutely terrible. I couldn't do it at all. I had the worst session ever. So I ended up leaving the place really angry. I went from totally buzzing to really angry. And that was just because the amount of waves that you get, you don't realise how tired you're getting. Yeah. And then the second session, so I think there was, in the end, I don't think it was a full session with the amount of people on there. Yeah. So instead of getting 8 to 9 waves, I think I probably had an attempt at about 12. But I probably managed to stand up on half of them because I was just completely spent. Yeah. And
what did you have? Did you have nothing left?
No, God. You just can't hold it in, can you?
I can.
So I was surfing I think it was a 9-foot board I had, so I think I would go slightly smaller. But they do, so any people that are thinking of going and know the board that they normally ride, they do say that because it's not salt water, then you might have to go up a few litres on your volume.
Yeah.
I felt like I could maybe come down a little bit, just because the board that I was riding was definitely had more volume than the board I own anyway, just because it was like one of those hybrid boards.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought when I saw that fish board. I was like, that's massive. Yeah. You know, it's like a great big thing. But so you definitely go again. I would go again as well.
I think it's going to be something I do maybe twice a year.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. And I think it's one of those things as well. When there's been no waves, the longer there's been no waves, the busier it'll get.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know, it might be a good thing to see. Like if it's pumping somewhere, you went there. If it was empty or whatever, you know. So yeah,
I think I'd like to go. I was chatting to a few of the employees and they said, you know, like early morning in the week is obviously the quietest time. I think I'd like to go on a quieter session.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, the weekend is going to be the busiest time.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'd probably give I'm going to say 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go 7.5. If I didn't have that second session, I probably would have said 8.
Yeah,
but that's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah, no, I'd probably say around 8 out of 10 as well, because I've got that thing. That's probably just personal. I've got that thing that it's not the ocean, and I just can't. I've tried and I can't get over it.
Well, if anybody's listening, if they do go and they've never been before, then get in contact and tell us what you think, and then we can kind of comment on that as well.
Yeah, get on in the Instagram. I mean, like, it's that thing. It's not the ocean. I don't know what. I remember being younger down the beach with Spoons and his mum, and we were sat there. And she goes, you just can't do it, can you? You cannot sit by the sand without putting your hands in it. I was like, no. I've always loved the beach and the ocean. And I think that's the thing.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is for us. It's the connection with nature. And then when you're there doing that, it's not that. Maybe that connection with nature that we're getting is actually the reason why we go surfing, and not because we're actually trying to do these moves or anything like that. Maybe it's a bit more spiritual than what we realise.
I don't know, because I don't know how bothered I am about moves.
No, me neither. Like the total and utter happy place for me is when when we're like somewhere like Saunton, sun setting. You see that set coming in because the sun's going down over the horizon, so they almost like create bigger shadow.
Yeah,
and then like you choose like the second or third wave in. And you get it really early because we're on longboards as well, and that ride is really long, and it's just the noise of gliding over it and seeing other people looking happy that you look happy, because I have a massive smile on my face.
People whooping and cheering, and all sorts,
and just kind of finding the power in the wave and kind of sitting around there and like kind of just coming up and down it slightly, like a longboarder does, like that night. It's not carving up the wave. I don't want to say carving up the wave because it's not that. It's like you're working with it.
Yeah, I think there's so many different styles of surfing. There's not one that's right and there's not one that's wrong.
The one that's right is the one that you enjoy, isn't it?
The one you're loving. And
there's that saying which they say at the wave on the way out. You've got all these quotes, haven't they, on the way out to the car park? And one of them is the best surfer is the ones having the most fun. Yeah. I've heard that before, and that is 100% true.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's not about showing other people how good you are or what you can do, because it's never going to be fun for you if that's what you're worried about. Yeah. You need to go out there and be kind of selfish in your own ability by just enjoying it and
just having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just loving what you're doing, yeah.
Nobody else cares anyway, because they're just out there doing the same thing.
The only time people care is if you cut them up and stuff like that. But pretty much, you have a session or something like that, and someone cuts you up. That dickhead cut me up or whatever. An hour later, you've forgotten about it anyway. Next time you go in, you don't go in the sea again going, I hope I don't see that dickhead again.
I'm going to cut him up,
It's gone, isn't it? You're always focused on the moment. But... yeah, so overall, I think overall 8 out of 10 for for the wave?
What if I say 7.5 and you say 8? It's
well, I'll say 8.
If you
I'll say 8.5 then, if you're going to do that. So we can say 8.
God, you can't change your mind now.
Shut your face. 8 out of 10 we're giving the wave, and we will definitely go again.
Give it a go though. Definitely, it's definitely worth.
Yeah, it's worth trying out.
And I think you probably feel the same. You probably, I'll go back there again.
We'll have to go surf Snowdonia.
When I can afford it.
We'll have to go surf Snowdonia next as well.
Yeah. It looked like they had a different colour wave on that, didn't it? It looked like the water was like brown. Yeah, like a brown colour to it. Yeah. So is that outside?
Yeah,
I know the other one's outside, but is it like more of like a sea-fed place?
I don't know.
Like I wonder if it's salt water or something.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay,
should have done some research before.
Yeah,
before I said anything. Just to make you look like an idiot. I don't have to try. Anyway,
competition time.
So
big competition
time. We've hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, which is just
as from the date of recording this show.
As we said, the 5th of whenever we are, September.
Yeah,
we've hit 1,000 followers today, so that's just epic in itself. I mean, in the amount of time I can't even put it into words. It's blown our minds, hasn't it?
Just over 2 months, is it?
June, July, August, 3 months.
So 3 months, yeah. So thank you very much for everybody that's been supporting us, all the kind messages we get.
Yeah.
Like they're daily, aren't they? Kind messages which we're just blown away with.
And like listens to the actual show as well. By the time this one goes out, I mean, Surfing England would have gone out.
Yeah.
And then we've got another one we're speaking to this week. Yeah. By the time this episode comes out, we should have hit over 5,000 downloads as well, I think.
Yeah, which is just unbelievable. Like, we didn't even
think anyone would listen to it, to be honest.
Didn't even think this would happen, did we? So
I know as I said before, the first couple of episodes, we were like really nervous, babbling, saying things that weren't right. Nerves.
Mistakes. Well, this is, we're hoping that everybody who listens to it are kind of in our kind of level, don't we?
Yeah. Like we said before in an earlier podcast, the percentage of people that are actually our level of surfers in the UK, there's not a great deal that are amazing. There's a lot of you out there that are really, really good, but like that top pro level. There's not many out there like that. And I mean, like you said, 97, 98% of people are just average and above average or below average,
but average.
They are, and they're just,
doing it for the fun, recreational
surfers. They can't surf all the time, all day, every day. They can't afford it. They haven't got some of them do have rich parents that will support them to go surfing, whatever. But it's not that simple. And most people, like we say, we see down there, they're coming down after work. They're going down before work, and any chance they get, it's a lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah. And they're just like that's just like us, and we now think that's why we're getting so much love from people, aren't we? Because
the amount of people we see tunning it past us, so then we go down a motorway with surfboards on their roof.
Your van doesn't go that fast. That's why we're not tunning it.
My van's like the Flintstone van, this hole in the bottom. Honestly, you don't remember that advert with the car
Flintstone van with your surfboard that you call a log.
Yeah, that old advert where there's a car in India and they were beating the car to make it look like a different thing. They beat the car panels to turn it into a different car so it looks like a cooler car.
No.
Oh, there's an old advert on TV. I'm showing my age there, which is that's like my van. It's got so many dents in it, but I did buy it with the dents in it. It came pre-dented.
That's not necessarily true, is it? There are a few that you've added.
I may have dinged it. Let's just say that.
Yeah, so
once with your girlfriend in the car, and she was scared to get in it again.
Whenever Rach jumps in the van when we go surfing, she is nervous.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's because the computer look thing that we said.
Yeah,
that happens when you're driving.
Yeah, but you just get but I get that. People go to me, I waved at you the other day when you were driving. You didn't wave back. Yeah, because I was looking at the fucking road. That's why, not you. Pay attention.
Right, so...
Anyway,
the
sorry, back to what we were actually talking about, yeah.
Yeah, it went off on one then.
Yeah, whatever. It's competition. So we've hit 1,000 followers. We should be like at that 5,000 downloads on the podcast. It's and this is by episode sort of 10, 11. This is insane. Yeah. We're so, thank you everybody. Like we've had the amount of kind messages and nice words and support we've had are brilliant.
So we've really pulled out the stops, haven't we, to try and make a really nice prize.
Nice prize for this. So the thing to do to enter this competition is I'm going to play something in now, which a friend of mine has sent me, which is a story from surfing. You can either do it this way or you can send it to us written down. So we want your surfing stories. We want to hear things that have happened. You don't have to be in the water. You could be a surfing trip you went on with your mates and something insane happened. You've met the love of your life. You've met your nemesis. Whatever's happened.
An amazing night out and woke up with seals licking your face. Didn't happen in Friends to Ross. That's why that jumped in my head.
What are you on about?
Remember that really cold morning? So Chandler says to him, remember that really cold morning where you woke up and dogs were licking your face? He says, yeah, and he goes, they were seals, man, because they woke up on a boat or something.
Don't even remember that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about Friends.
All right.
So it's like an inspirational story. It doesn't have to be about surfing, but if you were on a surf trip, that would link it in with what we're doing.
It'd probably help. If it's funny, you're gonna more than likely get it read out, or you can
really moving.
Do a voice. What my friend's done is done a voicemail, a voice memo on his phone, and then emailed it to us. So email it to the UK Surf Show at gmail.com. And we'll receive it there. Also, if you want to write it on Instagram. We're at the UK Surf Show, or Facebook, or Twitter, or
we're on all social media, aren't we?
Yeah, YouTube, wherever.
It should be pretty easy to get in contact with us.
I'll play this story in from Justin, so you'll get the gist. This is a story, and here you go.
So when I was living out in Australia, I got into surfing. I got to know a woman that was actually a surf teacher down at the local kind of beach that everyone would go to. So I got quite friendly with her, and she put me in contact with a bloke that actually shaped and made boards for people. So I got a board made, which was a mini Mao, which was perfect kind of just for starting out with. And the actual beach we used to go to was called Secret Harbour, which the name even sounds better than most places, but it was quite a good beach to learn on. It didn't have huge waves, but there was always a swell. There was pretty much always waves first thing in the morning, and then up to usually about lunchtime. So I used to go down there, and I kind of got the hang of, I could stand up, get myself in, figure it all out, and was sort of getting a bit more confident. So one day I decided to go down for a surf, and I go down on my own, and I have a look out to see there's a few people out there surfing, and I figured, right, I'll go to either side of where they are. So I decided I'd go to the left-hand side. I'm looking out to the left-hand side of them, just to try and stay out of people's way, and it just seemed a bit quieter that way. So I paddle out and come in a few times, and when I'm coming back in the first couple of times, I see there's a girl, probably mid-20s, sunbathing literally 10-15 metres from the water's edge. Pretty hot, you kind of Baywatch type of person. So I'm like, right, Just, you got to make sure you're doing this properly, don't make a dick out of yourself. So I go back out, I'm getting out. I'm sat on my board out the back waiting for another wave, which I used to quite enjoy because it was quite relaxing, crystal clear water. You can see all the fish underneath you. So I'm sat out there bobbing her out, thinking, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So the next wave comes in, and I get on it. I'm coming in. I'm thinking, yep, she's going to see me surfing. Look like I know what I'm doing. Next thing, I've come off under the water. Don't know where I am. Pop up. My board pops up and comes round in front of me. And I go to put my feet on the ground, I can actually touch the bottom of the sea. The water's up to about my neck. So my board comes round in front of me. I think, right, I'll just try and pull myself up onto it and then either come in or go back out. And as I'm doing this, the next wave is coming behind me and it's taking me into the shore. So I'm thinking, oh, right, okay, I can walk now. I'll just go in, turn around, come out. And with that, the tides come out, drag me all the way back out, and I'm literally can't touch the bottom again, hanging onto me board. And I'm looking forward to the shore, and I can see this girl who's lying on her back, just looking out directly in to my direction, and can see what I'm doing. So I'm thinking, this isn't going too well. So the next wave comes in, brings me in again. I start walking in. So I'm thinking, right, I've got it. And lo and behold, the wave then, the tide comes out, drags me all the way back out, so I can't actually touch the bottom again. And I'm thinking, right, just hang on to your board. You'll be all right. Don't worry about it. And as I'm thinking that, I see this girl. She's now moved from lying down to sitting up, watching me as the next wave brings me in and then drags me out. And I'm going up under the water a little bit, trying to get my foot in. I'm thinking, come on, you can't make yourself that much more of a dick in front of this person this girl on the beach. So with that, I'm thinking, right, the next time it takes me in, I'm just going to have to go for it. So the next wave breaks, in I go, trying to get onto my board, trying to walk in. The strength of the water just comes straight back out, took me back out. And I can see this girl now. She's gone from lying down to sitting up to standing up, and she's walking towards the edge of the water where I am. I'm thinking, please, no, she's not going to have to save me. I've got to sort this out myself. So I'm waiting for the next wave to come forward. It brings me right in, and I'm literally just about to get my board, and then the tide takes me right back out again from to where I started, and I can't touch the bottom. I'm just hanging onto my board to try and stay afloat, and I see she's now actually moved right up to the edge of the sea, waiting for the next wave to bring me in. And as it brings me in, she starts walking out in her bikini, proper Pam Anderson style figure, to try and help me. So I'm thinking, no, please, I can't have this. So I then managed to get on my board slightly and go to one of the sides, which obviously now, if you go and see a lot, all about rips and how it all works. So I get myself out slightly, and then I can just go straight in. At this point, I looked at the girl, and she'd actually come almost waist deep into the sea. But fortunately, I'd managed to get myself out, and, well, I don't know if it was fortunate or not, but I didn't need Pam Anderson to come and drag me out. But it was a bit embarrassing, to say the least. But at the end of the day, for someone that can skateboard and snowboard, you don't really realise how dangerous the sea can be until you're actually in it. It just goes to show the strength of it, but it's a lesson learned, I suppose. And standing on the beach, when you look out, it didn't actually look that like that there was much power in the sea at all, because it wasn't flat, but there was obviously a bit of swell, there's some waves, but it looked quite peaceful and no issues. But obviously once you're in it, what you can't see is obviously way more dangerous than what you can. So yeah, it's good fun, but surfing's definitely more dangerous than snowboarding or skateboarding.
Cheers, Justin, for that story. So that's the type of thing we're looking for.
Yeah, something like that. He wants to take full credit for our microphone skills as well, because he sent me a message saying, I want full credit for your microphone skills because I taught you everything you know how to use a microphone when you were 16 years old and worked at the bingo hall. Yeah. So, yeah, cheers, Just.
So the prize package that we've got so far, which is growing by the day. So at the moment, on the 5th of September, we have the green surf wax, the hard and the medium. So you've got a base coat and a top coat. Yep.
We have 6 Foot and Clean soap and shampoo. So you've got a body scrub and a shampoo. there. We've got the
West Coast Surf Wax.
Yeah, cold water wax.
Cold water surf wax, yeah.
Yeah. We have an issue of the Onion Surf magazine.
Yeah,
so
which
that's
was
issue 2.
Yeah, we interviewed him. So
Dylan.
If you don't know what we're talking about, and look back through one of the previous podcasts, you want to find out all about Onion Surf magazine.
He's going to send magazine. We have N&M Dronography. They are supplying a print, so you look through their Instagram feed and pick one of their photos and they will send you a print of that photo.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Ocean Lube, which is an anti-chafing basically cream that you can put on. It's wetsuit safe. So you
stop getting salt burns.
Yeah.
Because I used to suffer from them quite bad.
Really bad salt burns, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's environmentally friendly, vegan, petroleum free, plastic free, ocean safe, plant based, wetsuit safe. Yeah, really good. You know, a lot of these products that we're
promoting, aren't we?
Promoting, championing, giving away. You know,
so they're all small UK companies.
Yeah,
which we love.
Yes,
and they're all eco-friendly, and they're also we're only going to talk about people that we generally have like a belief and interest in.
And UK companies is where the UK Surf Show wants to be, with championing the UK companies.
Definitely.
And not saying if Rip Curl came along and went, oh, we've got a couple of wetsuits that you can give to your listeners, we'll give them away to you,
definitely.
But, we want to champion the UK companies. That's Ocean Lube. And then we have the Whittling Woodpecker is giving away... I don't know if you've seen them. If you've seen them on our Instagram, if not, go and check it out. They're absolutely amazing.
Stunning wood carving of a wave.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really look like it's possible. So I work with wood. I'm a joiner and a carpenter.
Porn star.
I'm a joiner and a carpenter, and I still don't know how he's quite managed to get that effect. It does look really cool.
Whittling.
Well, yeah, that would suggest that in the name, yeah.
Yeah, so they look incredible. So that's the dashboard size one of those he's going to send out. And then who else have we got? We've got Reaped, and they're going to give a T-shirt and a lanyard, which the lanyard is made out of, I think it's 100% recycled plastic bottles or something like that.
Amazing.
Keep keys on and stuff. The only thing that's not, obviously, is the little metal bit. But, the rest of that is...
There's a beanie, wasn't there, as well?
So Ocean Corduroy, I got to speak to him tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So if he doesn't send it, Ocean Corduroy, that's your fault. So it's called you out on it. Pressure now. This will already be out. But so tomorrow, speaking to him, he said he's going to send a beanie across. And there is about 2 or 3 other people that we're speaking to at the moment, which are also interested in adding prizes to this. So by the end of September, I mean, at the moment, prize-wise is pretty decent. By the end of September...
I don't know what the value of it is, but it's going to be quite a lot, isn't it?
Trust you, isn't it? Straight away, go to the value of something.
But it gives people an idea of how amazing this prize fund is, isn't it? Look, imagine having that box turn up.
You're not going to get much change out of 50p. It's a really good price. Well,
actually, why are we giving it away? Why aren't we just keeping it? It's like really cool stuff.
Yeah, I know, but...
being nice. Showing the love after the love that's been sent our way.
Yeah. Maybe you should have gone with that instead of why don't I keep it? No one's going to send anything now. Just send everything to me because the tight one wants to keep it all for himself.
But it's going to be a lovely box to receive with all that stuff in.
Yeah, Leighton's been ringing around going, have any of you got a surfboard you want to give away? But yeah, so
actually, if anybody does have a surfboard they want to give away, send it this way and I'll keep it.
Yeah, if only it was that easy. And also we put some pictures on from the trip of the interview with Spoons. They went down quite interestingly.
Yeah. So if you go back to one of the episodes, the title
7, Good Friends and Surf Trips and Good Friends
and Good Times, or something like that. Yeah. So there are a few surf trips we did with our friend called Spoons. For some reason, Pete thought it'd be a good idea to post some of the pictures on social media.
Spoons' tattoo is on there.
Yeah, but people don't need to see them. They can just take our word that happened.
No, it's better if people can see it. Your nipple rings. He's got a nipple ring and it's supposed to be a soul patch, I think. It looks more like an arsehole patch.
It's the worst facial hair that you could possibly imagine.
My wife said she thinks he was modelling on, what's that? Come a baby, come a baby.
Yeah, which she put online as well. So.
She put that online as well, so there's that. Then there's a picture of me and Leighton stood in what can only be described as the worst boxer shorts that anyone's ever invented. I think Spoon sent a message, why have you got your mum's underwear on to you?
Bear in mind, I got a funny feeling they were meant to be a joke.
Yeah.
And it was 20 years ago.
And I've got a pair of Union Jack underwear. I'm the equivalent of... the Spice Girl woman with the Union Jack, but just on the underwear. Yeah. And then there's another photo.
Spice.
Kooky Spice. I tell you what I want. Anyway. And then the last photo is...
Yeah, you and your... So Peter's posted a picture of himself naked and made the emoji massive, covering his member.
Manhood.
Yes, but the emoji is...
What?
Why did you put a huge emoji? Like,
this is covering
the Tic Tac.
It was a cold night. Yeah, I sent it to my wife's dad, the unedited version.
By accident?
No, on purpose. And he sent back, I didn't know you had tattoos. Brilliant. Yeah.
So anyway, going back to the prize package.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
You're going off on one today. So everything that gets added, we will post on Instagram. So at the date, recording this show. Yeah. That's the list we've got so far, and you've got to the end of September. Yeah,
to get your surf stories in. End of September 2020, your surf stories have to be in either typed up, sent in a message on Instagram, sent to our Gmail account, or do a voice memo, and we'll play it out on the show.
And we'll announce the winner on a podcast that comes out halfway through.
It'll come out in October. First week of October, probably.
Okay, we're going to be able to read them all that quick?
Well, unless everyone sends them on the last day of September,
yeah. So start reading them now.
This is why there's two of us doing this, because there's always one of us who's been an idiot, and the other one's like, no. Yeah, so anyway...
Get your stories in. Amazing prize fund. When you get the prizes come through, it'd be really nice if you took a photo of yourself with the prizes, so we can put it on Instagram to prove to people that
Leighton didn't keep them all. Yeah, but no, like we said, like over 1,000 followers now. So really, thank you so much. We're just
humbled, happy, and not wasting our time. So yeah,
yeah, we've spent 40 years wasting our time. So it's nice to be doing something that feels like it's worth it, and it feels like it's really going in the right direction. And I mean, like, the great response we've got from episodes, like the response we got from that Hugo episode from the SAS as well.
Yeah.
I put a post up on Instagram today that's a message we got about it, and it's just, someone said it feels like you've gone from two mates chatting about surfing to actual sounding like professional, basically.
Okay, now I'm nervous.
Yeah. But that interview was a very hard interview. I came away from that Hugo interview thinking it was a really bad interview, and when I listened back,
from what he said,
not from what he said, just he gave so much information that I found it so difficult to process everything and concentrate on what I wanted to ask him next. So by the end of it, it was like, he said, he's given you all the information and more, and the only thing you can say, which I've heard other people interview him, and they've done the same thing, is go, yeah, great.
Yeah, like, whoa, overload. But, we had a short amount of time, very, very busy guy, isn't he? And,
and people said we kept it simple, as well, so that
that's
an ordinary...
not difficult for us to do.
Not difficult for us to keep anything simple, is it? We are very simple creatures. So, yeah. Only one thing left to do now is to thank you all again for listening, for subscribing, for downloading and following, and thank you. Goodbye.
See you later.